So I found this in storage when moving some stuff a little recently, and I wanted to do a video about it. This is my journal from second grade, and this is a picture of my old dog who passed away like 20 years ago. This is pretty crazy seeing this. This is Rio's journal right there. See that? And yeah, I don't know, let's read through it. So it says class schedule, name, Rio, my school. I don't really feel like I have to blur out the address because that's not even correct. Second grade, and my old phone number. Maybe I will blur those out, whatever. All right, so what I hope to accomplish in second grade. I love to do math at school, and I love to learn at school too. I guess I didn't have any time to finish it. What I remember from this journal in particular was it was made to help us read and write in second grade. I'm pretty sure all of this was just to get us all used to writing in general. So I think they put like a time limit on this every time. Like it was an everyday thing, I believe, and they would put a timer on it, or like we have like a minute or 2 or 5 minutes to write our thoughts down. So I guess I ran out of time with that last sentence there. The best thing. Yeah, I guess I ran out of time on that too. I remember when I was younger, when they said to like, when they would tell us to give our own thoughts on something or take a second to kind of write whatever we wanted, I remember spacing out and just kind of daydreaming about what I wanted to write about. So a lot of these are probably going to be unfinished and not complete thoughts. So you got a lot of titles in this, I guess. The best thing. That's it. Tell what makes a good friend. I erased I would be nice to them. I guess I decided I didn't have to do that anymore. We don't have to be nice to people. I would be helpful to them with some wood. We're gonna chop some wood and give them some wood to be helpful to them. Next page. If I were the teacher, I would teach my students math and spelling. I would. I would teach my students math and spelling. I would. Yes, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah, I guess I ran out of time again. It happens. Whatever. So this is just some addition here. Yeah, I guess figuring out how to add things by 9. But I don't know. The next one is my best subject. Again, probably spaced out and just could not think of it. I did really bad with standardized testing and the FCAT, just all that stuff when I was younger, because I would take way too much time thinking about what I would want to say or how I would want to answer. If it was a simple question like, what was the author's purpose, I would read each answer and overthink the shit out of all of them making sense and being applicable, because I could just my brain would just, unfortunately, my brain is drawn to the vagueness of things or the broad nature of generalizing things. So when I was younger, anything that I would think about, or when it came to reading and writing, math is so, direct and very straight to the point. So I guess maybe I was always stronger in math for that reason. There wasn't really any room to interpret or anything. But with reading and writing or interpreting certain things, I would just overthink it and space out constantly. I don't know why. Probably thinking about movies and music and other shit that I liked instead of how boring school was. So there you go. My best subject is spacing out and not paying attention in school. I wonder what this is. This is just quote, male bighorn sheep stand about 3 to 4 feet tall and weigh 200 to 300 pounds, reported Charles. They definitely were teaching us, again, it's just teaching us how reading things worked. This had to have been something with how quotes work. Reading and writing, like I said before, a lot of this was to get us used to it, I suppose. But I'm surprised. It's interesting how much we were doing in only second grade, though. It's kind of, it's not too much or too little. I'm not trying to say that. It's just you don't think about what school was trying to teach you, or you don't look at it the way you do at the time versus how you do when you're older. So the next one, I would like a magic ring that ... makes Pokemon and looks like I erased something. I want to see if I can read it. Digimon. Okay, I erased the word Digimon. I was like, I can't betray my love for Pokemon like that. Fuck Digimon. Even though Digimon had its own thing, it was pretty cool in some ways. Is that still a thing? Is Digimon still like around, or is it like still as relevant as Pokemon is? I don't know. Write about the place you do your homework. I either do my homework in aftercare or at home. Well, I wasn't really, wasn't taking too much time to think about that. I guess I knew exactly what I wanted to say. I'm really just gonna shit on my own misspellings and simple things like that just because it's funny too. It's funny to pick apart how poor my handwriting was. I don't know, my handwriting doesn't look that different now though, I guess. I think I was just trying to make sure it was legible and that I was, you know, when you're learning about how the correct way to write letters and numbers and all that stuff, you just want to make sure you're doing that in and of itself really well. You want to make sure that handwriting itself is good. So that's, I think, where my brain was, my handwriting at the time. This one's interesting right here. I honestly, I think looking through this journal and looking at this picture right here is why I wanted to do this video in the first place. This one's interesting. I wish Pokemon were real because I love Pikachu. No, I love a Pikachu and a Charizard and also a Blastoise. I wish they were real because I love a Pikachu and a Charizard. It's like written like a child would say it. I love a Pikachu. So that's so interesting seeing the drawings. I think is what I loved about it most. Is I even drew Ash with his like specific hat, and I was just obsessed. Like, look where my mind was. I was always obsessed with like, you know, media and video games. Like some sort of media entertainment, and gaming was always. I mean, I know gaming is media entertainment, but you know what I mean. I was always obsessed with movies and gaming at the time, and I still am. And this is just interesting to see that. It's really cool. I just noticed this too. It's cool how I drew the Pokeballs with the little laser like hitting them. I never knew what that was before. I think I assumed that was just like something coming out of them, like the water and the fire out of. And notice I didn't do one for Pikachu because in the show, in the game, even the yellow version game, he doesn't want to be in the Pokeball. So that's such a funny little detail right there, seeing the Pokeballs only for Blastoise and Charizard, and then Pikachu. I was like, I was aware enough, even at the age of 7 or whenever this was written, at the very young age that I was able to distinguish that, which is really funny to see. Next page is blank. I guess I wanted to save that for later. We got something here. It looks like this is some sort of bookmark or some sort of something. I don't know why that's in here, honestly. I guess I could take this out. Oh my god, how long has this been in here? Like, I don't even remember where this is from, or it's got like, it's just like a sticky note, but it's also got a hole punched in it. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is necessary, but we're just gonna toss that out of there right there. So this is kind of freaky. September 1st, 2000, literally a year and a week or so before 9/11. The teacher wrote cool. The teacher had, that's just like the extent of like the amount of work teachers for second graders, like what kind of teacher that is and how little they actually give a shit. Cool. At least maybe mine did. I don't even remember who my second grade teacher was. So it says, I have blue eyes, I have brown hair, I have light skin, I put short legs, but I think it's supposed to be short legs, because sometimes you just, you know, in the middle of writing things, sometimes you just are going so quickly, you just try to get the idea out and you don't think about it. I'm assuming this one was, what is it like, a day in the life for you? I'm assuming that was the prompt. So first I go to school, then I get to go home. You can see I erased, then I get to go home. Maybe I was not wanting for the teacher to see that I'm excited to go home, and then I don't like being in school. So even in second grade, I really didn't like being in school, I guess. And because saying I get to go home instead of then I go home is a huge sign of where what my interest was at, or where my interest was at, and what I actually enjoyed doing as opposed to being in school. And I definitely felt that all throughout the next, I don't know, 10 years or whatever. But yeah, I always hated school. I don't know why. This one just says, Billy is the best. I won't say who this is. I'm sure if you're watching this, Billy, you know who you are. We've known each other since 2nd grade. So yeah, you are the best, man. You're a cool guy. Rio is cool. Oh shit. Oh man. Well, that's nice to see. I'm assuming I wrote that. So I'm assuming that I was writing that I'm cool and that I had some decent self-esteem at the time. That's great. I love seeing that, actually. The best thing that happened to me at school last year was going to recess and playing with Adam S. because he's fun to play with. It's so funny. It's so funny how, I don't know, there's something, this in particular, maybe after reading everything else that I've gone through too, and just seeing this one, I'm like, there's something very pure about seeing misspellings and seeing just imperfect writing. I kind of love the childlike nature of that, and obviously, yeah, I was a child. I was 7 years old or whatever. That's so crazy how different we look at these things as we get older, and how I don't know how this journal actually is like keeping me connected with that present moment of myself and that present time. Like that specific time in my life, this thing is like a direct link to it. It's crazy. This one on the left side just says, I hate Britney Spears. I must have said that because it must have been after I watched like one of her music videos where she was like super, probably like Hit Me Baby One More Time, and where she's like, you know, pretty outwardly feminine, I should say, I guess. You know, pretty outwardly feminine, and like I guess it was confusing my young mind and not knowing how I felt about girls and being freaked out by girls, and the thought of, you know, at this age is 7 or whatever. I remember watching like Snow Day, and there's like a kissing scene in that movie, and like I remember like me and my friend just like closing our eyes and looking away. You just like at that age, for me at least, I don't know, it was just like still kind of this innocent, oh, girls have cooties, girls are gross, or you know, ill, like whatever, kind of keep my distance from them. So I guarantee that was from that place. Like I didn't actually hate Britney Spears. I think I just hated how she kind of pulled that out of me. She pulled those feelings out of me, obviously. So this is even freakier. What's even wild, more ridiculous than seeing that is seeing the exact year before September 11th, 2001. This is crazy to see this, actually. I guess I erased the top here. Notice I didn't want anyone to see that I made a mistake, so I really did my best to hide that mistake there. No one will notice. No one will notice at all. So it says, I'm the kind of person who lots of friends, and that's it, I guess. I'm really happy to see that, though. I'm happy to kind of see that I genuinely have some sort of like love for everybody in my class, or everyone that I just knew at the time. I think at that age, it's such a precious moment of anybody that you interact with is your friend, and anybody that you just like everyone that's a part of your life and a part of your timeline in that way. So it's nice to see that I felt that I had a lot of friends and felt that I had some cool people around me. Guarantee, like, whenever my birthday was, 6 months later or whatever, you know, yeah, like 6 months later was my birthday basically, and I guarantee I invited like everyone in this class to my birthday at Boomers. I'm pretty sure I still have pictures of that. Maybe I'll have to pull them up and put some pictures in this video, but it's nice to see that. It's actually really nice that I felt like I had a lot of, again, that's that age. Once you hit middle school and high school, people get weird as they get older. Like everyone gets weird as they hit puberty. It's when it comes to how they treat each other and how they treat their friends and all that shit. So yeah, it's weird to see how different my attitude towards people and having friends was at this time than now. Something to learn from that, something to definitely appreciate about my younger self. Bah! Immediately, a few pages later. I haven't seen this in a minute, so I did read a little bit of it, but some of these I've forgotten about and some of these I haven't. This is funny as hell though. Billy is bugging me, and I spelled bugging wrong again. Stupid idiot kid Rio who can't fucking spell it right. God, you're stupid. Billy is bugging me though. That's hilarious. I guess Billy was being, you know, in my space or something. I don't remember. Honestly, it's ironic. It's like super ironic for me to say at that age that anybody was bugging me because I was the most annoying person in the world as a kid and the most ridiculously outward personality at this age. So it's absolutely ridiculous to see that Billy was bugging me at the time. Something tells me that I just wanted to write something honest about this moment too for myself. Like at this age, I watched movies like Harriet the Spy, and if you've seen Harriet the Spy, she has a private journal, and it's a big deal when everyone in her class sees what she's written about them and all that stuff. Spoiler alert, that's just literally the first chunk of the movie. The whole movie kind of rides on that, so that's like the very beginning anyway. But anyway, I think I watched movies like that and kind of wanted to have an honest moment of writing what I was actually feeling. That wasn't something pleasant or something, you know, I just kind of wanted to be real for a second. So this was interesting about this is this is like an early moment of me wanting to be more honest with myself or wanting to be honest with my feelings, even though that was probably the only time I felt that way. Like I don't have any memories of Billy annoying me or me annoying him. Like if you're watching this too, man, like this is gonna be weird for you to see this, I'm sure too. But yeah, this is just a specific moment that I might have been feeling at the time. Maybe I wasn't having a good day either. You know, there's all sorts of reasons why I might have written that, but it's interesting to see I didn't shy away from being honest about those things as well. Next one is blank, and it's actually ripped out. Look at that. I guess I got too personal. So, okay, we got another one. I want to learn how to spell good. I want to learn how to write good. I want to learn to find out what's under the sea. I want to learn how to knock my teeth out. I want to learn how to. I want to learn how to. I guess someone tells me she had us write I want to learn how to multiple times, and then we had to finish the thought on our own. I can imagine like my teacher or the school trying to get us to just write as fast as we could to get comfortable with writing in general. Like when you're writing quickly and you kind of have to just like jot things down, your brain has to adapt to doing it quickly and more efficiently. So that's why a lot of this stuff is incomplete. Obviously, like what I was saying earlier, a lot of this stuff is incomplete because it had to have been timed. It had to have been, all right, do it as fast as you can and just get comfortable. They wanted us to get comfortable with writing and getting all that stuff out as quickly as we could because they knew that standardized testing was coming up, and that kind of defines the entirety of your existence in Florida at the time, until they realized that it is basically what ruined a lot of people's motivation to be in school and ruined a lot of people's motivation to want to learn, messed with people's opportunities because some people are just horrible test takers and aren't good at these things, like myself. I was always pretty bad at taking tests unless I was super confident in what it was. But anyway, that's just the reality of what it was like in South Florida education in the early 2000s. It was just fucking bullshit is what it was. Here we go. Here's the next one. The biggest mess I ever made is when I mess up my room, when my friends come over, and when my dog chews up my things, and then I have to pick it up then. Then when my mom comes in the room, she makes me pick that all up. Because I was supposed to draw a picture of it, and then I put an X because I was like, this sucks. Wow, that's actually giving me some crazy memories of like this little thing that's hanging by, this little like circle that's hanging by like a string. I guess I must have, unless that's supposed to be the chain that you pull to get the fan moving. I vaguely remember having some sort of like decoration hanging from the fan, so I guess I even drew that in. Drew this shitty like square bed, and you can actually see I had a drawing of a dog, and maybe that was supposed to be me on the right wearing like some shorts or something. I erased those, I guess. I was super critical of myself at a young age, I guess. I was super critical of everything I did and didn't just go. I wish I let myself just get some of this stuff out without being so so critical of it. So that's what's kind of weird about seeing this, is it's reminded me of ever since I was a literal child, I've been so self-critical, and so I would just put so much pressure on myself constantly, I guess. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm that kind of person. I think because like I admired my parents so much and wanted to do something. Everything I did, I guess since I was younger, I wanted it to be very important, and I wanted it to be a big deal, and wanted to make my parents more than proud. I wanted them to be ecstatic about everything I did. So maybe I just had this constant, ambitious, high expectations sort of mentality, high expectations of myself and high expectations of what I was trying to do. So it's just bizarre to see that and feel that way about myself, even as a child, or looking back and seeing how I was always like that. It's freaky to me in a lot of ways. So the next one is September 14th, 2000. My favorite animal is the blue jay is my favorite. I also like the eagle because the eagle is very cool. And I guess I drew a little bird on like a post outside. That's cool. It's cool seeing that I was using the colored pencils and drew this like shitty drawing of a bird. It looks so much like Pidgey from Pokemon. I think my mind was just so obsessed with Pokemon and obsessed with, I don't know, all that shit. Obsessed with like all the stuff that that was distracting me in school. Next one is September 15th, 2000. It's funny how my spelling was right sometimes, and then sometimes it wasn't. Literally the day before I spelled September correctly, and then here it's September. All about sharks. I like sharks because they're cool, and they have lots and lots of teeth. Sometime I want to go scuba diving with a shark. The drawing of him eating a fish, and then me with the letter R on a hole. I guess I thought I was going to be doing something like The Abyss or whatever, where I was going to be in a full, suit off of a submarine or whatever. That definitely looks a little different than scuba diving. I pictured myself. I would never do that nowadays. It's interesting how different you look at these things when you're a kid, because I would never do that now. I would never I would never want to be in a submarine for an extended period of time, if at all. I don't know if I would ever go in a submarine at this point. And I would never want to swim with sharks. I would never want to do any of this shit. But when you're young, you don't realize, obviously, you're a little child, you don't think about the life-threatening aspects of these things. So my realization of my own mortality definitely changed my drive to want to do these things. There we go. On Saturdays, I like to play Spyro the Dragon on the PlayStation, and I also like to go to the movie The Kid and the Pokemon movie 2000. Wow, I loved playing Spyro the Dragon on PlayStation, and I remember seeing that movie The Kid with Bruce Willis and Spencer Breslin in theaters. And Pokemon the movie 2000 was so epic. It was so epic with Lugia and the 3 legendary Pokemon, and the whole, honestly, Pokemon 2000 is, I don't want to say it's arguably better than the first one. The first one is just much better of a story. But the 2000 movie was so epic. It was just such a big deal, and it's amazing how, if anything, this journal is pointing out how epic Pokemon was at the time, because it's all I could think about, clearly. It's all I gave a shit about. I took every chance I could in this journal to talk about Pokemon or talk about how much I loved it or whatever. That's kind of amazing to see that. It's all amazing. All of this. This is seriously, this is why I want to make a video with this, because not only is it crazy that my memory of Roxanne is on here, that's my old dog's name, and not only is that part of it, but I'm just amazed to see like everything that I jotted down in here. This is amazing. Reminiscing on all of this stuff. So I'm glad I did this for sure. Next one is, I feel important when nothing. I didn't even write anything. I feel important when I guess I didn't feel important at all. Again, I couldn't think of anything where I felt important, I guess. So, there you have it. I guess I don't know. I wonder if I still have issues with feeling important in the world. September 20th, 2000. People. People are funny. I like people because they are cool. People ride skateboards. 360. Maybe that was supposed to be my drawing of Tony Hawk, or whoever I could think of from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, I assume, I was playing at the time. I was obsessed with skateboarding as well, and I distinctly remember at the age of 7 or 8, like around this age at least, playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 with my dad. So that's definitely, yeah, big part of why I just liked skateboarding. This is super wholesome, actually, though. See, I like people, and I thought people were cool. Here's the thing, though. People were cool in the 2000s. In the 90s and 2000s, shit was cool, and there was like a lot of freedom and how people expressed themselves. And now there's kind of this, I don't know, everyone's afraid to do anything that'll make them look like a fool because people are filming strangers and posting it on the internet, and it's fucking stupid. So now everyone's super insecure anytime they go out because we're all aware of how everyone's filming shit constantly. But that has nothing to do with this. But I just find it amazing that I liked people at this age, and I liked life. It looks like I had a lot of. This is just proving to myself what I always remembered. I always remembered how I felt at that age. I always remembered how much I loved life and felt so much joy for everything and anything, and felt like I was really soaking up the juices of my existence at the time, and soaking up all of it and just getting excited about every bit of everything. And I kind of want to feel like that again. And I've been enjoying doing whatever I can to kind of capture that youthful joy that I felt at one point. Because I just loved life. It's pretty beautiful. Next one is another thing ripped out, another paper ripped out. I'm so curious to know what was on these ripped pages and why they were ripped. September 22nd, 2000. Two of my favorite things are finger skateboard because I can do an ollie and I can also some tricks. I could do also some tricks. My other favorite thing is my bike because it is my favorite color. And again, I drew the shittiest looking bike in the world. It looks like 2 wheels of cheese with some kind of like sex toy on top or some sort. It's funny. This one says, clouds remind me of my dog Roxanne because my dog is all white and fluffy. My dog is cute too. And then I drew a picture of Roxanne. I guess we'll do a comparison of how this drawing looks versus the actual picture on the front cover here. I was an amazing artist, clearly. About Austin. Austin is cool because he is really, really good at football, and Austin is funny. Touchdown. Again, no last name. I have an idea of which Austin this is, though. Hope you're doing well as well. Look at this drawing. This drawing is actually not the worst one out of all of them. This one's, and even the words touchdown is kind of decently clean. I'm just sitting here judging my drawings as a child. Like, who gives a shit? But still, it's just funny. It's funny, like, picking it apart. This one actually, besides the hands, this drawing of the person is kind of interesting. How it doesn't look like total shit. September 28th, 2000. My favorite book is The Three Little Pigs. Why does it not look like my handwriting? Maybe I saw someone else writing super small and I wanted to try it myself, see how it felt writing super small, or someone else. Maybe in the class they wanted someone else to write in our journal, but no, the words "The Three Little Pigs" looks like my handwriting at the time. That's definitely that had to have been what it was. Is just me seeing someone else writing super small, and wanting to try it myself because I loved copying what others did, and I just loved, like, I had such admiration for what other people did and thought it was interesting, more interesting than what I was doing. So I would try to emulate that, I guess. This one is more tiny handwriting. This one says, if I were a giant, I would wreck buildings and steal 100 trillion, whatever this number is, 1 trillion candy from the candy store, and I would juggle 5 people. Look at the way the candy store looks. It's just like a little hut with like a lollipop on top. It's just like someone screaming, ah, at the bottom. Oh my God. It's funny how I never drew hands because I knew I sucked at drawing hands. Even the little one at the bottom doesn't have hands. Oh my goodness. That's so funny, actually. This next one is, an unusual day at school is when I am the only kid in the whole entire classroom, and it will be an unusual day at school is when NSYNC comes and sings. When NSYNC comes and sings, oh my God, I guess I liked NSYNC too. More small handwriting though, yeah, it doesn't look bad, it's just kind of hard to read. I'm gonna have to hold this this very close to the camera. I'm at the point now as well where I didn't read any of this. I saw that there was a bunch of entries in here, but I stopped myself at some point when I was reading it before I filmed this video, and I stopped it because I wanted some of these reactions to be a little more genuine, or not sure what I would read, you know? So at this point I have no idea what's coming next on all the pages. So here we go. It is fall in the woods. You are a little squirrel. How would you get ready for the coming winter? I guess that was the prompt. And my answer was, I would eat all the acorns that I can. I could also sleep in trees at night, and I would also play with other animals too. How fall got its name. Maybe fall got its name because stuff falls. No shit. It maybe got its name fall because tree fall apart, and maybe it got its name by doing something about fall. All the items falling and screaming like, bye, see you later. Ah! I drew a little, oh, these are little worms in the apple. These are all these apples have worms. That must have been after reading a book about that. I vaguely remember some children's book. It was The Hungry Caterpillar, right? Wasn't the book The Hungry Caterpillar? It was him eating everything. So I guess I got used to, you know, whatever, seeing worms or seeing bugs on apples because of all those children's novels those little children's books that I read. It's so funny. I love these drawings more than anything. The drawings are super appealing to me. This next one. Dad racked the backyard. Oh, it's supposed to be raked. Dad raked the backyard this morning. There is a huge pile of leaves just sitting there. I think I will jump in it so I can have fun, and I will pretend I am the leaf monster. The leaf monster, I meant to say, I guess. Leaves in... Oh, I love to play in leaves. I love how I wrote, like, as if words come out directly from... Like, I didn't read enough comics or things with speech bubbles to realize the whole phrase can be normal, so it's funny how I kind of wrote it coming from the person instead. So it's like from bottom to top, I love to play in leaves. I'm saying we, I'm assuming that's a friend of mine, and this is my dad in the bottom left. He definitely never wore stuff like this. Didn't wear a t-shirt with a skateboarder on it while wearing a hat backwards. Huh. Is this supposed to be him going, huh? Did he do that when I was a kid? Just a big pile of green smudges and scratches and everything? Wow. Next one is, why was Columbus' crew nervous about sailing around the world? And my answer was, they thought there were sea monsters in the sea, and there might have been a waterfall. I didn't know shit about the world. I didn't know how things work. I still don't really know shit about the world, because that's not, obviously waterfalls aren't in the ocean. The innocence and ignorance of children is never boring, is what I'll say. This stuff is never boring to me, seeing like how I viewed the world, or how, like, you know, how my imagination would kind of take over with these things, and I wouldn't, you know, you don't really think in terms of reality at that age. At least I didn't. I was just everything was all make-believe and pretend and acting and fun, whatever. So this next one is, pretend you are a leaf. Tell a story about your summer and fall experiences. I guess here I was getting sick of this shit because I didn't write anything. I'm surprised they would ask more stuff about the fall. Again, this is just us this is them getting us kids used to like how seasons work, how the world works. All of this stuff is applicable, which is how, you know, how to interpret our reality around us. So that's clearly what a lot of these things were. Didn't have any response for that. Write a story that begins, I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in haunted houses, and I believe in all kinds of other stuff too. I still don't believe in ghosts, so I wonder why I didn't believe in ghosts at the time. It's bizarre. He is going back, is what it says. I don't know what these drawings are. This is around Halloween, I suppose. I guess I stopped writing the dates down or whatever, because this is definitely around Halloween. It's supposed to be a little pumpkin. It's me screaming at the bottom, oh no. I don't know what this is. In the other window here, it doesn't really make sense at all, to be honest. It's supposed to be a little chimney and like a little house, but this left window, I have no idea what that's supposed to be in there at all, so. If I had a magic broom, I would fly in the sky and I would fly to Toys R Us. This had to have been when Harry Potter was like, obviously the biggest book in the world. The movie came out within the year later or whatever, like a year later. It's funny how I drew Toys R Us. Maybe at the time, Toys R Us had these little playground sets for sale out in the front outside. I'm assuming that's why I drew a little swing set and a slide. I can remember that. I can remember like them probably having no room for that stuff inside, or not even that. People, it's probably easier for it to just get it into people's cars. Maybe they would just display those things outside during the day. But yeah, it's funny how I'm riding the broomstick like a skateboard as well. It's even got little straps for my feet so that I could fly around and not worry about falling out. That's so funny. All this stuff is super hilarious to me to see this again. I am most afraid of sharks that are the size of Jaws because they can eat you in one bite because they have lots and lots of teeth. I guess that's supposed to be a surfboard. And the shark is literally like flying out of the water to come and eat us. I'm pretty sure like my dad let me watch Deep Blue Sea when I was like 5 or 6, so I had seen that by the time I wrote a lot of this stuff. So I was super obsessed with sharks or interested in sharks. I had definitely seen Jaws as well. The pencil, it's amazing how the eraser on the pencils I had, I guess, really sucked, or I would just draw a little too hard, maybe write too hard with the pencil. I don't know. All about PE. PE is fun because you get to play flag football and hockey and other stuff too, and Austin is good at flag football. I'm open, Rio, and I guess that was me with the ball, somebody else. You can see the little like belts with the flags on them and everything. Yeah, I remember, whoa, what is this? There's also like some residue from what looks like weed on here. I guess I, at some point when I was 18 or 19, saw this and used it to clean off a little something. I hope that's not shit. I mean, I hope that's not me like smearing boogers or fucking shit on here. I have no idea what this is. It's gotta be some sort of resin from like some weed shit. Here we go. My Halloween costume is a dead skateboarder. I'm going to be a dead skateboarder because it's cool. I wish I could be Scream, but my mom thinks I should be a dead skateboarder. Okay. My mom not wanting me to do anything too scary, not wanting to scare the other kids, I guess. It's supposed to be like a zombie skateboarder, clearly. All the little marks and shit in his hands and all the bandages and stuff. He's supposed to be like, yeah, all messed up. That's highly influenced by like the way they made the undead look in South Park, I feel like, because that looks very similar to how they drew them. The Halloween party was over. I reached up to take off my mask. It wouldn't come off. I wish I could get my mask off. So I think that was the prompt, and they wanted us to draw what that was to us, they wanted to us to draw that image. I drew some hands normally, some arms and hands regular, and then I realized that I had to change it and put it on the face because it was me trying to get my mask off. This is my dog at the bottom right, I believe, laughing at me. Again, it's just people screaming and others laughing at them and laughing at their pain. So that's just childhood, right? People laughing at you while you suffer. All about Magic Kingdom. I like Magic Kingdom because they have cool rides, and one of them are Space Mountain and another one of them are Splash Mountain. This is Space Mountain. I love how I had to point that out because it looks exactly the same as Splash Mountain. Well, if I drew water, maybe it would be a little more clear, but I think this is supposed to be me and my dad. Maybe my stepmom at the time. I'm not sure. The ghost who wanted a friend. One day there was a ghost who wanted a friend, so he looked for one, but all the people he met ran away, but one kid wanted a friend too, so he looked for one. Soon the ghost and the kid met each other, and then they were best friends. The end. That's basically the plot of Casper, right? That's the plot of every ghost friend story. My god, the ghost looks pretty freaky, actually. Eeh. How to trick a witch. I guess I never figured that one out. I never knew how to trick a witch. On Halloween night, I dressed up as a dead skateboarder and started down the street when I suddenly opened one door and green goose came splattering on and the person that poured green goose on my said trick or treat smell my feet. Is this supposed to be goose? Green goose? Or ooze? Like green goose is what I think I was trying to say. Like goose, like slime or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember this at all though. I think I would have remembered that. Maybe it was a made up story. This one is another ripped out page. When I can't sleep, I stay up all night and watch a lot of movies and play video games on the PlayStation. I also sometimes put music on and go to bed and fall fast asleep. I sometimes have bad dreams and wake up and read a book. I thought there was going to be more. Yeah, when I can't sleep. That's still what I do when I can't sleep. I'm still up late playing video games and watching TV. Shit, nothing changes in 24 years, I guess. If I could speak to Pocahontas, I would ask her if I could have a lot of fun. We would make water slides and go down them, and we would also make rides, and we would make a roller coaster that goes up 100 feet high and drops down. Man, I was just obsessed with fun. It looks like all I cared about was having fun all the time. Again, no different now, but holy shit, it's so weird to see that all I cared about was theme parks and having like the most fun experience that I could have, and I was always like just fantasizing about being anywhere other than school, doing something that I enjoyed and finding things that I liked. I clearly knew what I liked and just kept doing that my entire life. I'm kind of amazed at how nothing has really changed that much when it comes to like the little things that I enjoy doing at home or whatever. I don't know. What I want for Christmas. Wow. Wow. I'm speechless from this one, just from the drawings. I'm speechless from again, a lot of this is still like relative to what I would like for Christmas now. So maybe not all of it, but some of it for sure. Just seeing this. What I want for Christmas is an electric guitar, a Game Boy, a Hot Wheels track, and other stuff too. I really like Christmas because you can get a lot of toys. Oh man, I even knew that I wanted the gold and silver version. Maybe I already had the gold and silver version of Pokemon. Oh man, I drew the Game Boys and everything. And drew the... Ho-Oh and Lugia look exactly the same, but it doesn't matter. I guess I was just trying to draw some sort of bird. Look at the Hot Wheels track. It makes me want to get a Hot Wheels track. I fucking miss that stuff. Problem with Hot Wheels tracks is that they take up so much room. If you want to get into that as a hobby as an adult, like you have to dedicate a whole room to it. I would have to like make that whole back corner there or whatever like a Hot Wheels area, and it's just so unnecessary unless you have kids. Like that stuff is just so not worth setting up constantly and breaking down constantly. But I do love Hot Wheels. I still play my game, the Game Boy that I got a couple years ago, and I still play electric guitar. Holy shit. Holy shit, I knew exactly what I was gonna do for the rest of my life, I guess. Thanksgiving from a turkey's point of view. It will be happy because people will first try to cook me, then they will try to eat me. I will just take all their shotguns and shoot them and have them for Thanksgiving. Jesus Christ. So my point of view from a turkey was to try to, as soon as they try to cook me, just like pull out the shotguns and start blasting. So anyway, I start blasting. Yeah, have them for Thanksgiving. That's such a dark turn. Just a turkey about to get feasted on by a whole family, and then he turns around and kills all of them, and the movie just ends with the turkey picking apart their dead carcasses and everything. No different than what we do to them around Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving? Not this year. November 14th, 2000. Here are the 3 things I am most thankful for, is my mom and dad and food, also my school and friends. I'm thankful for my mom and dad because they are my parents. I am also thankful for my grandma and grandpa. I am thankful for my grandma and grandpa because they are nice to me and they give me the best presents on earth. I'm also thankful for the best person in the world, which is God, because he made my parents and me. Wow. Pretty speechless from that one. Thanking God and having so much appreciation for simple things like food and school and friends. This is probably my favorite entry that I've read so far. I'm thankful for food because it helps people stay alive. I'm thankful for my school and my friends because my friends play with me at recess. I'm thankful for my school because school helps me learn. It's getting super wholesome now, and I don't know whether to laugh at the innocence of it or appreciate it and love my younger self. I'm pretty taken aback by all of this, to be honest. It's reminding me of how much I loved as a kid, and I just want to get back to that place. I want to get back to that place and not let the world, turn me into some jaded, bitter person like I've been for a while. November 15th, 2000. I would be a pottery maker because I like to make pots. The pots look like so fucking weird too. I'd be a pottery maker because I like to smoke pot. Nah. Which do you think would be the most frightening? 1, a room full of snakes. 2, a room full of lightning. 3, a room full of lions. I wrote a room full of lightning because it can kill you and make your hair spike up. Yeah, a room full of lightning would be pretty bad. I mean, a room full of snakes or lions is not great either, but the snakes could be harmless. The lions could be babies. Depending, we're talking depending on the context of these things, right? Just, there is a chance to not get absolutely fucked up with a room full of snakes. There's a likelihood of getting fucked up by lions. There is a guarantee of getting fucked up by lightning. So as a kid, I was pretty aware of how severe lightning is compared to, I'm just picturing that. A room full of nothing but lightning striking constantly. That's the last thing that I would want to deal with, because you're gonna die if you're in that situation. What do you think happened when the first pilgrim child met the first Indian child? I think when the pilgrim child met the Indian child and became friends, and every day they would have fun together and go to each other's houses and sleep over too. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it happened, but it's a nice thought. When I am cold, I freeze and turn to an ice cube. I also would want to get a glass of hot cocoa. Everything was just like a little person and a house or some sort of something. I only knew how to draw houses. Houses were so easy to draw at this age, and just are still easy to draw. The basic idea of it, at least. So it's just me out in the cold. Never would I have worn a hat and a scarf. It was never that cold in Florida, at least. So there's a little thing of hot cocoa on the table in the back. I think this is supposed to represent the house I lived in at the time, or maybe the house I would have wanted to live in. Compare the first Thanksgiving celebration with the way. That's it. That's all it says. They're jumping off. I don't know. So much of this stuff out of context is just confusing. This looks like something, that Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia would draw. They're jumping off. Like, this is so ridiculous. The food I hate the most is garbage and spinach because garbage has chewed up pizza and slobbery meat, and I hate spinach because I hate vegetables. I spelled vegetables in the weirdest way possible. There's like yuck. It's just supposed to be like garbage and pizza and everything just kind of around the garbage. Where's the spinach? Oh, is that spinach at the top? Yeah, that's supposed to be spinach at the top. The food I hate the most is garbage. Yeah, I think most people would agree with that. If I were an animal, I would be a dog because I like to chase cats, and I wonder what will happen to me if I eat dog food because it tastes no good. I would also want to be a dog because I like them and they can catch a frisbee very, very well, and they can do cool tricks and stuff like that. Dogs are very good at chasing people. They chase people because they like to lick and they think fingers are bones and they think your head is dessert. That's some like morbid shit. Even as a kid, I just kept thinking of animals eating each other or animals eating people or something like that. There's some wholesome stuff in here, but then I'm like, dogs think fingers are bones and want to eat people's heads. It's so not wholesome. Oh, and here's the picture of the dogs chasing and eating people, eating me, I guess. Or that's me as a dog eating people. More people just screaming, ah! Oh my God! These dogs are eating us! What the fuck? Why would they do this? What I want for Christmas. What I want for Christmas is a Game Boy and silver and gold version for Game Boy Color and more Pokemon. More Pokemon with the silver and gold version of Pokemon. Have those on my DS. I should play them more. Fuck, that makes me want to play more gold and silver on my DS. Shit's so fun. Blank. Something tells me we're nearing the end of this. I did not expect there would be so many entries in this, but it's cool that there are, and it's cool that there's a lot of stuff to read through. Otherwise, it would just kind of fly by too quickly. At the movies, I like to see Rugrats in Paris the movie because I just never finished that thought, I guess. I loved Rugrats. I think Rugrats is still a great show. I gotta rewatch all of it, actually, but any episodes that I've seen recently, I always thought they were still pretty funny and creative and just interesting to watch, even though that show is super made for little kids and babies and shit. Rugrats has some funny adult jokes as well. So Rugrats is still pretty damn good cartoon entertainment. The best thing about winter is that winter is cold and you can play in the snow and you can go snowboarding and you can ice skate, you can ski and make a snowman. I think I wanted to live in a place that snowed as a kid. We never had snow around Christmas here in Florida, so that shit got... You see stuff in commercials and movies and shit where everyone's having a white Christmas and you definitely feel like you miss out on something. If you're thinking about having a family in Florida, just think about that. Think about how your kids will miss out on actual seasons and actual snow around Christmas time. There is something really, really special about celebrating Christmas in a place that snows. My dad lived in New York. I would visit him around Christmas time, and I thought that those were some of the most memorable ones because I didn't get that a lot, and I loved having that experience. But of course, if you don't want to deal with the freezing cold weather, live in Florida. But that's the perk, These are the trade-offs. You don't deal with the cold, but you also don't get these memories. And I missed out on that, and I clearly wanted that because the best thing about winter is everything that I wasn't able to do here, essentially. When I looked out my window this morning, I saw strange footprints in the snow. Footprints, and pretty soon I found something. It was my dog. She was scared, so I brung my dog home and gave her her bowl of water, and she was not scared anymore. Well, there was no snow, so this is like a made-up story, clearly. I guess they wanted... I think the prompt was when I looked out my window this morning and they just wanted us to write some sort of story. Whatever. Think of a creative way to make a snowman using something in your environment. I'm surprised that they had us do these like prompts with snow and stuff that, growing up in Florida, we didn't know anything about that. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they wanted us to be aware that other parts of the country and other parts of the world do have, you know, snow during the wintertime. So I'm assuming that's why they had us do this, but it's just bizarre. It's bizarre to see that because it's like all this is just what I would imagine making a snowman would be like and how I would imagine all that stuff would be. So I would use mud for the 3 balls and a carrot for the nose. Then I would use one of my hats for my snowman's hat. I would use sticks for the hand, that's supposed to be sticks for the hand and arms. If it melts, I would glue them on, but if it still melts, I would have to use something else for the hands. For the eyes and mouth, I would use raisins. Then I would just take a stick and throw it straight out and use it to kill my snowman. Everything goes back to things being stabbed and violence. That has to be just growing up with a lot of violent movies and games where you're like shooting things and going to arcades and playing shooting games. Like a lot of stuff was just, I don't know, we grew up around that a lot in the late 90s, 2000s. Almost everything on TV and in movies and everything had guns and fighting and whatever. So here's my snowman, I guess. These are like little raisins in the eyes and the mouth and everything, a carrot. It's cool. It's cool. They at least like got us to know. They made sure that we knew what a snowman was, so we didn't feel like we were completely ignoring that type of thing that everyone does when they're kids. So this next one's just a picture of Twister. I guess I was really into this movie and into this ride at Universal, so I wanted to draw a little Twister there. I think it's also because like I distinctly remember doing this with my mom and her doing a really amazing drawing as well. So I might have just done that while she was doing that and copied her and thought it was such a cool, easy way to draw something like that, little scribbles and stuff. December 7th, 2000. What I like to play. I like to play Jumpstart 2nd grade because it has football on there and it is cool. I like the Bone Vault... What? Cabin? I like the Bone Vault Cabin, and it is, though it is easy? I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up, I guess. I have no idea what I'm saying there. Getting? I guess I was about to write getting. Billy was having fun sliding down the snow. Then he came to the top of the hill. We played together, and we also went down the slide. We also had a snowball fight, and we both lost. We both made a snowman, and we went snowboarding. We also went ice skating, and we did cool tricks. We made our snowmans. We made it look like us. Santa brought us cool things like a Game Boy and silver and gold version. We got cool stuff for Christmas. I just couldn't get my mind off of Pokemon for 1 second. Pokemon was everything to me at this age, clearly, because I couldn't stop thinking about gold and silver version and Game Boys and playing video games. Jesus Christ. Nothing has changed. October 12th, 2000. Harry invented a new toy. It was called... I erased something that says the Supercar 9000. It goes really, really fast. It feels like you are in a roller coaster. And explain what gift you would like the most, the reason why you deserve it. I want to get a blue Razor. Oh man, I don't know if I would ever be caught dead riding a Razor scooter nowadays at my age and just in this day and age where people really hate people that are riding scooters, or they just think it's lame or whatever. They get a lot of hate, people that ride scooters. So It's interesting to see that. Like that was when that first came out. I'm pretty sure like the scooter was such a new thing, like a completely new introduced thing. For selling it as a toy at least, and selling it to kids as a toy. So I definitely wanted the Blue Razor. I remember that was just such a cool thing. I don't know, maybe it still is. Maybe I should get one just for fun, but I just don't do that stuff anymore. It's so easy to get hurt, and at my age, it's just not worth getting hurt for something mildly fun. What I like about Christmas. What I like about Christmas is Jesus' birthday and Santa Claus. 2, I hope I don't get a lump of coal because I want to get presents from Santa Claus. And I'm gonna leave Santa Claus chocolate chip cookies for Santa Claus. And then the next morning, I will see a giant bite out of the cookie and I can play with my toys. Oh, look at the Razor scooter, and I guess it's supposed to be a little Game Boy or something like that. And then the cookies on the plate. I even tried to write the little word Razor on the scooter there. And it looks we're almost done here. I thought that was it. A couple blank pages there threw me off. The snow that wouldn't melt would be, I know it did melt, my ability to think of something to write, and my imagination had snowed in my brain and blocked me from being able to think of anything to write, apparently. The Abominable Snowman. When I was building my snow, I didn't finish that one either. January 9th, 2001. Write about some of the things you did during your vacation. What I did on my vacation is getting presents on Christmas, and I got a video camera and I already recorded some stuff on it. I also got a Blue Razor scooter, but it doesn't go that fast. I also got a singing machine, and my mom loves it too. My favorite present was the Razor scooter because it goes pretty fast. So did it go fast or not? It was like, that's a complete contradiction within a couple of sentences. Hilarious. I still contradict myself. I can't do that much tricks with it yet, but my cousin can't do even one trick yet. All she can do is rolling around and all over around the place. Okay. January 11th, 2001. No prompt, no nothing. I guess I was getting high off that fucking Percocet or whatever the fuck. No, I was just, I don't know. I don't know. I guess just didn't find a moment to write anything after that. January 12th, 2001. Think about the new year. What habits do you have now that you'd like to change? What new habits would you like to change? Nothing, I guess. I guess I thought I was just a perfect child because I didn't write anything that I would want to change. You are the author of a book about your favorite animal. What things will you tell in it? I want to tell you what my favorite animal is. It's a dog because they can do a lot of cool stuff. What I will write is what the things that dogs can do, and my book title will be What Dogs Can Do. Very powerful stuff here. My birthday, and I think this is definitely the last bit of it. There's no pages after this one. We are on the last page, everybody. My birthday is gonna be cool because it's gonna be at Boomers. We're gonna have laser tag and we're gonna climb the wall, which means rock climbing. My birthday party is gonna be great. I hope my friends come. I drew the wall and the little things that you hold on, grip onto there. And I think that's it. Is there anything on the back of the last page? Nope. But we get all these old composition books. I don't know if they still have this, but they have like all the, all that info in there. That's pretty interesting. That's it though. That's my childhood journal from 2nd grade. Pretty interesting stuff. This is definitely worth doing, and I gotta say this is it's super worth going down memory lane and finding any of your old childhood things. Anything from your childhood is just interesting to look back on, and I feel like I got to know a little bit about myself at this age. still. Like, I'm still learning about how I might have been at that age, so. Yeah, that was interesting.